Okay, this is my second attempt at doing this voiceover. The first time I did it, I was done talking and then looked where I ended up and I'd only talked for 5 minutes. So, let's try that again. Hello everybody and welcome to Pignet. If you're not familiar with my channel, nice to meet you. My name is Jessie. If all goes according to plan, on this day when this video goes live, I should hopefully be on vacation. So to make it easier for myself so that I could make sure to get 2 videos ready before Wednesday and pack for the trip and prep for the house to be leaving, I decided to flip through one of my old sketchbooks from when I worked at my 9-to-5 desk job. I actually had another video from another sketchbook of mine that I did months ago, and I uploaded that that was back before I had hardly any subscribers. I think I had less than 100. So if you're interested in seeing that video, I'll be sure to link it at the end of this video. This sketchbook is actually from 2013, and I'll explain why later. There are a lot of people who keep really fantastic sketchbooks that are really impressive, thought out drawings that eventually could be even scanned and turned into a book that would be sold to admirers. I'm not one of those people. My sketchbooks are mostly done with pencil and ballpoint pen. They're sort of like journal entries because if you're a regular journal keeper like I am, you might also notice that you feel the need to document your thoughts on a regular basis, wherever you can possibly find a place to do that. Scrap of paper? That'll do. So I have to flip through sketchbooks from years like 2013 because I haven't kept one regularly since leaving my day job. That was July of 2014 was technically the last day of my job. And there are 2 reasons why I can't keep a sketchbook regularly anymore. One is that, like I said before, sketchbooks for me are more like journal keeping, but they take much more creative energy than just writing a journal entry. So for me, it's just easier to write in my notebook than to doodle and try to write too. My other reason is that I really only doodle in sketchbooks when I'm bored and have nothing else to do. And since I don't work at my desk job anymore, I'm hardly ever bored. But I was bored all the time at my desk job. I'm not really the type of person to do sketching on paper. I'm more likely, if I'm thinking of an idea for a drawing, I'm more likely to do it on the computer. It's just easier for me and cleaner. I don't know. So as you're watching this, I'm most likely lounging on the beach in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. Possibly sipping a margarita. Definitely people watching. Hopefully reading a book that I got from the library for the trip. It's supposed to be a good one. Remember my last video how I mentioned that I have a lot of smaller goals for 2017 and I didn't want to bore you with them? I'm going to bore you with a couple now. One thought that I always have is that I'd like to ride my bike more, but I don't like to ride a bike unless I have a place to go. I actually grew up in a small town along the Erie Canal, and one of the things that you could do for fun, because it was a really small town, is ride your bike on the towpath next to the canal. So basically, you'd ride your bike on the towpath and just go in a straight line until you were in another town, and then you'd turn around and come back. And that was my worst nightmare. I have no desire to do that. I want to treat a bike more like the thing that it is, like an actual vehicle, But I never have anywhere to go because in the area that I live in right now, it's not bike friendly at all. And also there's a ton of traffic and lots of lanes, and I'm not brave enough to be one of those bikers who will just confidently take up an entire lane and get flipped off all the time. No, I'm not going to do that. So this ties into my thought about going to the library more because I do live at a comfortable distance from the library so that I feel safe riding my bike there. So if I could form a regular habit of visiting the library more, then I could also check off my box of riding my bike more too. You see how that works? And visiting the library will also help me with another goal, which is to write more and to read more. I write picture books and would love to be published someday as an author illustrator, and everyone in the industry always says it's incredibly important to be very familiar with the picture book industry, what's being published right now and what's popular and what kinds of things should you be writing and what's not something you should be writing. So I'm going to plan on being that awkward adult that's sitting in the children's section reading picture books and studying them. Yeah! Oh, on a side note, speaking of New Year's resolutions, I really enjoyed reading all of your comments on my last video, the one that I did about the New Year's resolutions for 2017. In that video, I mentioned that I loved longer comments, and you guys delivered. They were amazing. So thank you so much for that, because I feel like I know all of you just a little bit more now, and I really appreciate it. So today, as I'm recording this, it's Monday, January 2nd, and we're leaving Wednesday to drive to Pennsylvania because that's where Luna's going to be babysat while we're gone. And we're going to Cabo with Justin's parents, so we're flying out together. We're actually vacationing with Justin's parents and my mom and stepdad, so that should be interesting. I'm honestly a little nervous. I feel like rightfully so, I should be. Justin's technically on vacation from work until the 17th, so we're taking the next 2 days to prep for leaving. Today for me is all about getting my YouTube videos uploaded, sending a few emails to clients, and wrapping up 2016's budget for both our family expenses and for Pignet. And I'm nervous to see how I did this year in comparison to last year. I thought for sure that I was going to make more money, but then Etsy's holiday sales were like really terrible this year. I actually checked the forums because that's what I do whenever sales are down. I check the forums and see if it's happening to other people. And a lot of people were saying that their sales were like awful this year. So I don't know if it was like the election or I don't know what it was. Maybe they changed their algorithm or something again, because they do that all the time. But I'm definitely glad that I don't put all of my eggs in one basket when it comes to Etsy, because that's just too much trust putting in another company that you ultimately don't have the control over. So basically that's what my goals are for today. And then tomorrow is going to be all about packing and cleaning the house. So loading podcasts onto my phone, planning road snacks, throwing out leftovers in the refrigerator, all that good stuff. And relaxing, of course. Before I leave, I'll leave you guys with a question, and that is, what kind of vacationer are you? So Justin and I are the lazy kind, and we don't like to go sightseeing or spend any money on excursions. We just want to spend a week relaxing in the sun, catching up on reading, and eating good food, and sleeping. On one hand, we're certainly missing out on a lot by blowing off tourist attractions, but on the other, I have like a really terrible memory for that kind of thing. So by the time we're done seeing all these places and spending all this money, I need a vacation from my vacation because I'm so exhausted. And I also don't remember anything that I saw. But I'm curious to hear from you who live in warmer climates, because we live in Buffalo, New York, where it's winter practically 3/4 of the year. So our go-to vacation destination usually involves warmer weather and sandy beaches. But what about those of you who live along the coast or are in warmer climates? If you live along a beach, do you vacation to a beach still? I'm curious. So let me know in the comment section below. But I'm going to leave you guys here. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, let me know by giving it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more. Be sure to check out my previous sketchbook tour linked at the end of this video if you haven't already. And I'll see you next week.